What's up? What's up? This your boy Scott Lewis, Palmer Gamer, and more. Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. What's up? I'm here with John. Everything BK Nets. What's up, John?
Hey Scott, good to be here. We're coming towards the end of this G League Showcase weekend where a lot of GMs are conversing, talking a lot of trade shop, and there could be potential moves on the horizon. Chris
Yeah.
Haynes, NBA reporter yesterday, talked about how the Warriors are looking for a new big. Al Horford's not working out. Draymond is going to retire in a few years, so I heard three names: Daniel Gafford, Robert Williams, and our own Nick Claxton as potential trade
Right.
targets for the Warriors. So that's definitely
Yeah.
something to monitor for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna shake. Things are gonna happen. Somebody is definitely gonna get moved. I have that feeling. I just want to go over the lineup today. Let me bring the lineup in, and it's probably the same thing as we've been seeing.
More Terrence Mann minutes.
Yeah. Yep. Let's bring it in. Okay, the Toronto is starting Ingram, Agabaja, Quickly, Bonds, and Poltel.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jacopo.
Podol, right. And for Brooklyn, Terrence Mann, Porter, Deman, Clowney, and Claxton. Jordy's regular lineup. So it is what it is, man. I was hoping Danny Wolf would start today.
Eventually. Let's hope eventually.
Yeah, I think we after the whatever happens in this trade deadline, the lineup will change.
Right. And the Raptors are coming off a back to back. They played yesterday, so you wonder how the
Yeah,
energy is going to be in that first quarter. I mean, you have a fresh MPJ, you have a fresh Claxton, you have a fresh group of, and to be honest, with you, the Nets have had a lot of off days this month. I think part of that in season tournament, I think the good thing is that some of these teams do get much needed rest because the season can be a grind, especially with injuries being so
yeah,
bad as they are with these back to backs. Having this time off in between, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, for teams that are supposed to be tanking have all this rest, you can actually beat good teams who are just playing so many games ahead of you. So
right,
there's
right.
some pros and cons to weigh there. But it'll be interesting to see how the energy levels are for this game tonight in particular, how we do from that standpoint. Like you said, the trade deadline stuff is going to start beginning, I think, much sooner than people think. Some teams really can't wait till February 5th to make moves because some teams are trying to make moves just to save their season. And the Cam Thomas stuff, that I think is going to get addressed very soon. Report came out from Brian Lewis that Cam Thomas, it has been cleared, I think, for 5-on-5, but there's still no specific return date in mind for him, which you think would be before the end of the year. But
Right.
if they're going to trade him soon, it seems like it's only a matter of time of who wants Cam Thomas. And
Would
two
would
teams,
it be possible to hold him to the off season and trade him since he's
he'll
not
be an
a big
unrestricted
hit?
free agent. He'll be unrestricted, so the Nets really don't have any type of leeway. If he was a restricted free agent like last year, then they could work out some sign and trade stuff, but he'll be unrestricted, so
Right,
they'd have
right,
to either offer him a new contract or just let him walk. But I'm looking at two teams in particular right now, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Clippers. The Clippers thankfully won a game last night, but at the same time they lost their center Iva Zubats to a
right.
twisted ankle, which damn.
Yeah, yeah.
that
Can't
just
win for losing, right?
Oh yeah, even when they win, they're losing, and that's a huge loss because that guy's been the key towards giving them some type of life in the few wins they've had this season. Now you have to expect Kawhi and Harden to just give you 80 points a night, which that team is not going to get through much with that. So they're definitely a team that could use Cam Thomas offense right now. And everything I keep hearing is that the Nets would have to package Cam alongside maybe a Terrence Mann or some type of vet we have already to get certain value for Cam Thomas. Then with the Bucks, there's different scenarios you could do. You could do a Zaire and Cam Thomas. You could do a Terrence Mann and Cam Thomas to get Kyle Kuzma and one of their picks. I think the Bucks and Giannis are going to break up soon, but if they're going to prolong this till the spring, go for it. Waste your last bullet, a 2031 pick on us. We'll give you Cam and unfortunately Terrence. Well, not unfortunately, we'll give you Terrence Mann and Cam to get another
Right.
pick in our arsenal. Even if it's a protected pick, I'd still do it because it's another pick we have in our arsenal for the future. So I think Bucks or Clippers will look like two main teams for Cam. Other teams who might make a run at Cam if they feel like they're contending and he's just an extra piece for offense, maybe Rockets, Magic. But more likely, Clippers and Bucks are two desperate teams right now that are scavenging the market for anything right now to try to keep their season, save their seasons at this point.
Right. Yeah. 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 Teams are going to be desperate. I have a feeling because the Celtics and I want to bring up the standings. The
Hmm.
Pistons and the Knicks are up there. The Knicks are number two. The Celtics are a surprise at 17-11. The
Thank
76ers
goodness.
are 16-11, which they've been
Thank
playing.
goodness.
They beat the Knicks last night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you see VJ Edgecombe?
I saw him against the Knicks. I saw him a little bit against Dallas last night. Like
Oh
this kid
my
is
God.
electrifying. I told when he faced us beginning of the season, the
Yeah.
athleticism he has. I looked at that highlight. I'm like, none of our guys are doing that leapfrogging off an invisible trampoline to dunk the ball. Like him and Tyrese Maxey. We all say that Tatum and Brown is the best duo in the Eastern Conference. The future duo of the Eastern Conference is Edgecombe and Maxey. If both of
Yeah.
them keep playing with the chemistry they have, that's what's keeping the 76ers season afloat. The front court has been awful, injury ridden. I mean, Joel Embiid had the weekend off because of an illness
Yeah,
and his
who's
knee
they
bothering him.
starting center is
Drummond's been stepping up
Drummond.
for them this
Wow,
year.
Drummond's still
Yeah.
in the league, man. Wow, he hanging in there. Well,
He's doing a great job for them. He's almost like what you wish Daron would be right now, even
right.
though they're not typical starters. What Drummond's doing right now works because they have such a great backcourt. Our problem is we don't have a great front court or a great backcourt, so Daron really doesn't have those opportunities.
uh, oh, Daniel said all you talk about is trading the whole team.
Did I say the whole team, Danielle? I keep mentioning specific players. I'm not trading our young guys we
Uh,
drafted away. I'm not. I'm open. I'm more open to keeping Clowney unless there's a superstar out there. And if Clowney had to go for a superstar, I won't mind to it. But mostly, it's outside of those guys. It's the vets, and these are not long-term vets, Danielle. They're short-term vets. So for the Nets right now, I agree with what Scott says. Next summer is when you start building the winning pieces of this team. Right now, we're not really building a winning team. We're trying to figure out who is a part of this future and who isn't a part of this future. And I think after a month of evaluation, we know who that is. So we'll see what happens from now to February 5th if any of these moves we talk about come to fruition. Right now, Nick Claxton is connected to the Warriors. He's also connected to Boston, and he's connected to the Pacers. If you want to keep MBJ, I understand all that. But Claxton, he has a market right now because he's having a career year. So he's somebody to look out for. And Boston, thank goodness they're a top three team. Scott, if they're out of this lottery, I feel slightly better about our chances because if Boston was in the lottery, they're getting AJ DeBosa. Like
no,
they were going
well,
to gift wrap that to them, man, which would
well,
be horrible.
they three in the East. They're not even thinking about
Thank
tanking or
goodness.
anything
Thank
like that.
goodness.
So I don't. Honestly speaking, and you know how I feel, John. I'm about winning. So the whole thing is what's good, Jamal. The whole thing to me is the chemistry of the team, and I just want the
Right.
rookies to get a lot of playing time now. I always said that they needed to slowly bring them in, but as the season go on, they need to increase their minutes. So,
Exactly.
so I think this is working out. Now, I don't trust Sean, but it is what it is.
No, that's true, and this is a big trade deadline for Sean Marks because, like I said, you're preparing your team, what's left of that team, for an important summer where you hopefully draft a core guy to be part of your future, and you use the cap space that you have to get those winning vets that fit the formula because you have no reason to be a bad team next year. But I will say this though, with the Celtics in particular, you actually don't have to just trade Claxton to get Simons. I'm hearing deals of a Dayron Sharp and Terrence Mann package to get Simons in a first, theoretically. So, like, if the Nets want to still keep Claxton and MPJ, you can. It's just you have to get rid of some of these other vets that aren't long term assets. So, I think we're in a great position, though. We have the $15 million in excess cap space that can absorb small or slightly bigger short term bad deals to get more assets, and we could trade vets for assets. I think the Nets are in a great position. And I'm hoping this weekend that a lot of GMs pull Sean Marks into their huddles to talk about, 3 team deals, 4 team swaps, stuff like that. And that Sean is now talking with his front office people about, hey, these are some moves we might have to make, but these are moves to give us more flexibility, to give us more assets at our disposal, and to figure out who is the next Brooklyn Net and just who isn't a Brooklyn Net. I hope this weekend was used wisely by him because you should be a part of a lot of these conversations because a lot of these big deals ain't going down without the Nets being involved in it to absorb a salary or more assets. A lot of these teams right now are over sec or near second aprons or first aprons, and they don't
Right,
have
right.
that cap space to facilitate 3 to 4 team deals by themselves. So they need a team like Brooklyn, a team like Utah. Heck, even Detroit, I think, has an exception where they could
Yeah,
absorb some salary. So besides Detroit, Utah, and us, no other team out there can help facilitate these different deals. So we are in a good spot. It's just Sean Marks cannot have a I trade a Haywood Highsmith and a Cam Thomas at the deadline. I'm good motto. Like that's not good. You didn't take advantage of a chance to really set your team's future up. And I think
right.
that's what this deadline is about because we still have a lot unresolved right now.
Yeah, we got Jamal, the franchise in the house. What's up, Jamal?
What's good, y'all? What's good?
Not much. What you think? How the team is going to play today against Toronto?
Well, did we play them good last time?
Yes,
We
we
just,
yeah,
we
actually
just,
we
yeah,
are the last 10 games we've been four, but we played close games against Toronto. But we are 4-6 against Toronto in the last 10 games.
yeah.
So
I think quickly got hot at the end of
right,
the
yeah.
fourth quarter,
Well, that's
so
the
that's
experience
why
that
we
they
lost.
have with quickly, yeah. Yeah. Toronto is actually the fifth place at 17-12 in the Eastern Conference. So they have a decent team. They've been playing decent ball, team ball that is.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what you looking forward today with the rookies today?
I ain't looking forward to nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you, Scott. Like,
Did you see VJ Edgecombe play against the Knicks?
no, I didn't see it. They played
Oh,
today.
no, they played a day yesterday.
We
Actually, he
faced them on
scored.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Actually, we
actually,
faced them
he
Tuesday.
scored. Somebody got echo, but
Scott, I think that's you, Scott.
you think it's me?
Yeah, check.
No, is it me? Is it me?
No, you're good right now. You're good right now.
Is it me?
I think it was Jamal.
You can hear
But
me?
yeah, I can
Yeah, I
hear
can
you
hear
now,
you.
though. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got an echo.
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, VJ Edgecombe scored the last, I believe, 7 or 8 points. He was the catalyst that beat the Knicks.
He's a ridiculous talent, VJ Edgecombe. I mean, athleticism, the scoring, like he hasn't even hit a real ceiling, but he's shown you everything he can do. And I believed going and past off season that this was a kid we could have drafted and really been a part of the future. Like Philly got really lucky with
Yeah,
him and Tyrese
and
Maxey. They really did.
also, I believe Cooper Flag broke rookie record, didn't he?
Yep, 42 points. First
42
first and
points.
only rookie at 18 years old, and he just turned 19 today.
Right.
So another a great record broken by him. I'm telling you, some of these guys, some people have worries. I think you should. And when you have talent like that that is being put at such a pedestal, you expect them to do stuff like that. So it's good when expectations are met because it's a new generation that's taking over the NBA soon.
Yeah. Definitely. So the Brooklyn Nets spent their last 2 days off figuring out a way to rebound from their least productive all-season showing of the season. The Toronto Raptors spent Saturday attempting their most three-pointers while struggling consistently rebounds. So, coming off a disappointing performance, the Atlantic Division foes get together for the third time this season on Sunday with the Nets hosting the Raptors. The last game, Toronto earned a 119-109 victory in Brooklyn on November 11 when it made 9 of 35 attempts from three-point range, and the Raptors sank 15 of 30 in their 119-109 home win on November the 23rd. Those wins were part of a 9-game winning streak for Toronto. At that time, they were kind of hot, which is just 3-7 in their last 10 games. So now they cooled off a little bit. So I believe the Nets could get this victory today, and hopefully I can get to see some damn Wolf back on the court. The Nets had a great stretch of no games, so they should be well rested. This is good for the rookies because I always said you have to get them acclimated to NBA season. which is kind of grueling for those rookies. Yeah. So also, I want to talk about uh, who's in the G League right now.
Seraph, I believe, and Nolan got called up. And the thing is, you want to see Nolan just get some playing time to figure out his offensive game. The physicality on defense isn't happening this year, but see what you can get out of him offensively. See what playmaking he can do. And I got good news on Drake Powell. Jordy believes the injury is not serious, that he'll be back soon, which is great because that twisted ankle looked bad. But just like Jordy says, this kid's a gym rat. He knows how to recover quickly from little
Right.
ailments. So the quicker
Yeah.
he recovers, the sooner, because Nolan's not going to get a lot of burn, and you
Right.
want Nolan to take advantage of these minutes. But Jordy just is not giving that full trust because he's not physically ready yet to handle main minutes. But still, you got to let the kid get confidence, just shooting the ball in the hoop a little bit at least, see what he can create from the 3 point line at
He's
the
been
very
doing
least.
decent in G League as well. So hopefully he
Yeah.
gets some burn today.
Right, and Sarafi's in the G League right now. He's been back and forth, so we're still trying to figure out what he is, what type of role he could have. But yeah, Danny Wolf, this is another big game for Danny Wolf, who he's really established a role on this team. We already got the Wolf Howl music in Barclays, getting comparisons to Joker, Sangoon, which we all talked about already. And this guy said, like, he was on Eric Slater's Locked On Nets podcast. I think he was the first ever basketball player from Brooklyn on that podcast. I'm not sure, but one of the rookies, I think for sure. And he just talked a lot about, wanting to, he believes he belongs in the NBA, wanting to prove people who he thought should have drafted him a lot earlier.
You
So,
know who
like,
that sound
this guy
like?
too.
You know who that sound like, right?
Who sound like?
Cam Thomas. They, as a matter of fact, they both got picked 27 in the first round.
Right, but the different Cam was a freshman though, right? Cam was only a
Yeah,
freshman.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wolf has been in college 4 years, so Wolf has had a long time to get some type of rapport together to show, hey, I put in all the work 4 years, I'm ready to go. And people are like, you're too old, Danny. You're good big, but we don't know if you're a forward, a center. We don't know if you can play defense. And he addressed all those things, saying, I've worked on certain things, and I believe I should have been drafted higher. But for me right now, it's about proving those people wrong, but proving myself right. Why long they made. That's just a great mentality. Yeah, there's some arrogance to it, but that shows that there's a potentiality with being a not only solid rotation guy, but maybe a young star of some sort in the makings. Danny Wolf just doing things offensively I've never seen in the last 10 years bigs on our team have done. Jared
Right,
Allen, DeAndre Jordan, none of those bigs ever did those things. Claxton, Darren, like none of these bigs have ever dribbbled a ball in their legs to shoot a three. None of them really go to the rim and could create different type of finishing layups. Like Danny Wolf is doing stuff that not a lot of people expected, but he put in the work to put himself in his position. I just give him all the credit in the world that he's playing with such an intensity so far early on, and I want him to get a future starting position just to really see if he is that guy. You got to push a guy who's in his 20s right now to the max as best you can because he's ready for it. He didn't come
right,
in here to get 1 year of experience, four
right.
years. So, like, I hope he keeps proving them wrong and keeps elevating his trust factor with Jordy because it's only going to benefit Wolf and our team as a whole going forward with him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you want to see any trades that come up? Do you have any thoughts about trading Claxton now?
I think the Warriors one is very interesting because we're looking at him, Gafford, and Williams. I don't think Williams does anything for the Warriors. He's got two busted knees. He was good a while ago, but I just don't see. He's a cheap. If they want to get him on the cheap, they should go for it. But he's not going to help the Warriors right now. They need an actual big that has some type of athletic ability at the rim, and he's a great shot blocker. They're actually, I think, last or near last in block shots, which is why Claxton was on this list. Claxton's shot blocking skills have always been a part of his repertoire, and he could defend 1 through 4. It's just what's the price going to be in return for us? I did some mock trades right now. It doesn't work for the Nets to get assets from Claxton because he's making over $25 million, and the contracts the Warriors have to give up they barely equate around 20 something million. So this is where the Kaminga thing becomes a little annoying because he can't get traded till the 15th of January, so the Nets would have to wait a bit longer to trade Claxton, which I don't think they mind doing. But the only way I think a trade works out is like a three-team deal of some sort. Like, let's say the Bulls get brought in, Kaminga goes to the Bulls, Claxton and maybe Cam go to the Warriors. We get Nikola Vucic from the Bulls. We get Moses Moody from the Warriors. And we get an unprotected first in a three-team deal. Vucic, Moody, a first goes to us. Claxton, Cam go to the Warriors, and Kaminga goes to the Bulls. I could see a three-team deal like that because I think the money works. Right now, just a one-on-one swap. The Nets would have to take back Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, and some other smaller contracts, which would be like 5 roster spots. The Nets would have to figure out how to fit on this roster right now. But that's when Tyrese Martin and Jalen Wilson become movable because their money's non-guaranteed around January 7th. So the Nets could make a move like that, but I don't think the Nets want to take back a bunch of contracts. So
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
have to be
yeah,
like a three-team deal, but that's when Kaminga's available. He ain't available till January 15th, so I don't see a Clax move happening until Kaminga's ready to be moved in some type of
yeah.
multi-team deal.
Well, Jamal, do you see any moves that come up with the Nets actually making a move?
I feel like it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be some moves. It's probably gonna be some moves that we're not gonna like. But I don't know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what is what is gonna happen. But knowing Sean, it's definitely gonna be a move that we don't like, that we don't agree with.
yeah. I think a lot of people, and it's true that a lot of people don't like the idea of moving Cam Thomas, which I don't. I'm not too happy about it, but it is what
I
it
feel like
is.
the same chance you giving Wolf is the same chance you should be giving CT.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no doubt. No doubt, no doubt. You got to give. I don't. Honestly speaking, I didn't see any reason why you would keep 5 rookies because somebody's going to be in the G League
Or might be off this team in the future.
or
Yeah,
real
it
soon.
messes it messes up the productivity. It messes up
The flow.
the growth.
Yeah, it does.
Because if you really think about it, Whitehead was out of here within 2 to 3 years.
Right,
We didn't even give him a chance to really develop.
right,
Like,
right.
yeah, he played in the G League, but we saw what we saw. We got him out of here.
Yeah, I
Jalen
think
Wilson about to do the same thing. He's about to be out of here, even though he was an MVP of
the G League,
the
right? Yeah.
not the G League, the Summer League.
Oh, the summer league. That's right. You right.
You
You
know,
right. I
so
forgot he was.
if these people are not getting allowed a chance to play and develop, what you think gonna happen? They're gonna fall to the wayside.
Right.
The Wilson one, I'm not too upset about. He had opportunities last year multiple times to garner some type of role, but he never took advantage. And he's mostly just a 3-point shooter. Like he don't dunk, he rebounds somewhat. He has maybe an interior mid range or something like that, but mostly he just knocks down threes. Though, like Wilson in particular, I'm not too upset about. I thought keeping Kobe Buffkin though over Wilson should happen. Kobe Buffkin, he's been in the G League a lot, but he's been putting up some good numbers, and it's like he could have gotten a run with the Nets, maybe be a part of this future. But we had to keep a guy like Wilson, who Jordy said got on this roster because of good character and what he does behind the scenes. But it's like, what does he do on the court? We're supposed to be evaluating what do you bring on the court, not what you do just behind the scenes. So I'm just
But
ready to move off of Wilson at this point too.
John, with Wilson, for you to be the Summer League MVP and then regress is something wrong.
No, there's definitely something wrong because I thought he was going to have at least a role off the bench, but he's not even getting playing time off the bench anymore because he didn't improve, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of like feel like John. Somebody getting feedback.
Jamal, I think that's you, Jamal. Check your mic.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna drop down and come back up.
All
Okay.
right, but
Yeah, I'm listening to what Jamal's saying. I kind of feel like the situation with the Nets, as far as they youth players, and they have a very young team. They had a young team before they even drafted these 5 rookies.
mhm,
Um, the turmoil that we've been through in the past 3 years will stunt your growth.
right.
And I truly believe it's like it's just like any other thing. Like people go to work. If your job is terrible, you're gonna have a terrible time working at that job. So it's the same thing in the NBA. The athletes need to be around good leadership. They need good trainers. Your organization has to have a positive direction for you, and you can see it. And the players get rewarded with minutes when they play well, and they gotta see that. If they don't see that, you're not going to grow the team. Like just now, like VJ Edgecombe. He get a lot of minutes. The team is actually playing well. He's benefiting from being next to a great point guard.
Right.
So it's inducive of him to actually grow. He's gonna grow, and that's good for him.
Right, but you brought up some great points just about structure and stuff. For the last few years, since the KD, Kyrie
Right,
James thing went to hell, we weren't sure where we were going. Like one point, it was like the Twins they're going to recruit a superstar like Giannis or Donovan Mitchell to come here,
right,
and Cam's going to be
exactly.
our sixth man. But when you have Cam, your sixth man playing better than your two guys supposed to recruit a star, and they don't want to be here, then you're in a really crappy situation. Because Bridges didn't want to be here from the get go. He wanted to go play with his buddies. That wish got accomplished, and then Johnson, he was saying all the right things last year, but it's like it don't really feel like he means what he's saying. And he's saying to the Nets fans, "Oh, if you don't support what I'm doing, you're not a real Brooklyn fan, dude. You weren't going to be here regardless. You got traded the following summer, so it's like that was a mess." And
Yeah,
Cam thought it was his time, but unfortunately, Cam got injured a lot, and that's not on Sean or Joe. That's on Cam, unfortunately. And what they
yeah,
should have done these last few years is say, Cam, no matter what, you could be a great six man for us. We get you want to be the main guy. We have a plan for that. We're going to look at some people, maybe draft well. But Cam, we do want you part of this team. But they never once
But
made Cam feel like he's a part of this in any
but
certain
John,
part of the system.
is that
So
my
that's what led to all that. Wait, what's
is that my mic still acting up?
yeah, a
yeah. A
little.
little bit, a little bit. Go ahead.
Is it better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to push back on what John said a little bit, right?
yeah. Go ahead.
Because certain organizations they give time to people who they want to give time to.
Right,
Because I'm gonna speak about Steph Curry. When Steph Curry came into the NBA, his ankles was done.
right,
You know, they gave him time to recover. They gave him time to build, but they also moved people out his way so he could be the guy.
right.
You know, so I don't believe necessarily in those injury things because we seen it when the organization wants you to be that guy, they're gonna make it possible for you to be that guy until
Right.
you're not that guy.
Until somebody else take your spot. Right,
Yeah, because we seen it with Devin Booker, we
right,
seen it with Steph Curry. Like they moved Monte Ellis to help Steph Curry grow.
right,
Devin Booker was on a losing team for since he got into the NBA until CP3 came along.
right,
You know, so and he was the face of that franchise, even though they was losing.
right.
So even with the Cam Thomas uh comps and stuff, it's they just don't want him to be the face.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
even with the injuries, if they felt like he was the face, they'll figure out a way to make it work.
Right,
They wanted Mikael Bridges to be the
They
face.
just they
They wanted Cam Johnson to be the face, and it didn't work.
right.
I don't know if you
all right.
seen the other day, John, with me arguing with the guy on Twitter when he was saying that Cam had Cam was the guy in 23-24 season. And I'm like, I showed him the facts. Like Cam didn't even start the whole season. He missed 43 games because he was coming off the bench.
Right,
He
and
wasn't
then
even a starter.
then he hurt his ankle, and then he hurt his ankle too against the Clippers, which hurt that season for him. But then he came back and started playing really well. So yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
but
Listen,
but
at the
McCall
end,
was the face of that team that time.
Who?
yeah,
McCall was
Mikhail.
still on
Right,
the team at the time.
right, right,
He was
right,
he'll
still a
not be
face.
here,
right,
man.
right, right,
And the thing is, now we're pivoting to the MPJ stuff, and I like what MPJ is doing, but it's like that's exactly what they do. Try to do with Bridget Johnson. They want a third option guy to be the head guy until we get a superstar of some sort. But if you don't get a superstar like you did get 2 years ago, we're basically repeating what we did again, trying to take a shortcut route. And then Cam, he's a pawn piece that you'll just dispose of. But it's like, what do we really have? You have guys you drafted. Those are supposed to be the huge part of this. I like the fact that Jordy talked to Yegor on the court during the timeout last game. He needs to do that more with his rookies. Push them forward. Don't just put the Terrence Manns, Tyrese Martins, more short-term pieces ahead of these young kids' development, because then you're not building anything. I wish we would have gotten vets like the DeAndre Jordans, the Chris Pauls that are in this stage of their careers where they could more motivate, help the young guys push them forward. But we don't have any of those guys. We have guys that are still competing for money, guys still competing for future contracts, And those aren't exactly the vets you want to help build your young kids' confidence on this team. And I think Sean and Joe still don't understand that. And that's what we were missing last few years with those veteran guys that can come in and really help build a culture, really help build the sustainability that is through the young guys. And
Yeah,
it feels
yeah.
like right now we're just starting all this with drafting five rookies. And unfortunately, Claxton, Dayron, Cam, they're leftovers from a previous few years of misery, BS, not sure where the hell we're going. And I know some people want to keep some of these guys, but I just feel like their windows were with the big three. And since that ended, they've just been spinning in circles trying to have roles on this team, but it feels like they're not going to have main roles whatsoever. Cam, Dayron, even Claxton's doing well right now. It took Claxton 7 years to do something like this. I don't even know if that's sustainable at this point with what
But
he's doing.
but but John, I do want to add on to something, right? We made a
Hmm.
mistake. We made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
What should have happened when we got McKell and we got Cam Johnson back and we got Dorian Finney-Smith and what's his name,
Dennis.
Spencer.
Right.
When we got all of them back in return, we should have just sent them right back out. Like
Right.
Memphis wanted McKell for the
Right.
4 picks. They was gonna give us those 4 picks for McKell.
Right.
Those would have been worth more than the Knicks picks to me.
We should have
You know,
traded on draft night right after
we
we did the
we should have
Bridges
traded all of
deal.
them.
Right after
We
they
should have
did
did
the
a rebuild
Bridges
right
deal,
there.
Jamal, remember after the Bridges deal, we were talking about draft night, how Claxton might want to go to Memphis or somewhere we could get the ninth pick from Memphis or try to trade up to get a Stephon Castle. We had opportunities to move Cam Johnson, to move Claxton, move Doe on that night, and Sean Marks didn't take advantage at all. He kept the vets. That was the mistake. If we would have traded some of those vets on that draft night after the Bridges thing, I think we would have had a legit shot to get top five last year, but we didn't because we had to hold on to these vets because they were important towards building a culture. But you had no young guys you developed that year. You had Keon Johnsons and all these other dudes trying to survive to stay in the NBA. We wasted a huge opportunity last year because we didn't decide to break it all down at that point. We
Do
kept
you
more leftovers, which
do
screwed
you
us.
do you think Sean didn't is really not trying to win, or you think that
Right
he just
now, yeah,
yeah? I
I
think
don't think he's trying to win.
I don't think he's trying to put a product out there that you could be proud of.
But
Jordy
that's the
is
whole
there.
thing, Scott. This the
Huh?
whole thing. You try to pivot from the KD and Kyrie era by bringing in Cam Johnson and Mikal
And
Bridges.
Mikael Bridges, right?
You wanted that to work, but realized you couldn't really build a team around him.
Right.
Right.
So you traded him. My thing is, Memphis was knocking on the door as soon as we got Mikal and asked for him and said they was willing to give 4 first-round picks for him.
Mm.
Right.
You should have just sent them on his way. Dorian Finney-Smith, they were saying that it was people requesting him also for first-round picks. Could have got him out the way. Cam
There's a
Johnson,
deal
you
with
probably could have
Memphis.
got him out the way too.
Right.
Yep. There was a
You
deal
know,
with
it didn't make sense to bring them back when we wasn't gonna win.
Right.
Right. We should have did Doe to Memphis. Remember that they were talking about that trade of Doe to Memphis, but the pick that Memphis wanted to give us was a protected first pick, and then we pivoted to that Lakers deal. We're getting D'Lo back.
Yeah,
We should have just took the protected pick, gotten Doe off this team. We didn't have to worry about D'Lo. Killian Hayes would have been our starting point guard last year. Perfect. But no,
no, no,
Sean Marks wanted an unprotected pick. So let's pivot to D'Lo and seconds. That was a
but not even
horrible
that,
pivot.
John. Remember at one point they was trying to trade us Westbrook. I
for
think
for
for Ben
Kyrie.
Simmons.
For Kyrie, it was Kyrie and Joe Harris for Russell Westbrook in two firsts. I would have done that deal because Westbrook was on a
Because what did
1 year
you get back?
deal.
What
We
did
we
you
get,
get back from Dallas? You didn't get really nothing back.
You got
we
one
get, we gave
first.
it up. What we got for Dallas, we gave up for our own picks back. The
Right.
Dallas pick we got back. I
Right.
can't with that, man. Another
Yeah.
mistake. We should have done the Kyrie to Lakers thing because Westbrook would have $40 million of expiring salary. Simmons' was contract was going to expire. We would have had a lot of cash space to work with, more than we already had. So, and we would have got two firsts out the deal. I would have done that deal
Hmm.
before I took the Dallas deal. The Dallas deal, we essentially got seconds for Kyrie, which
Right.
again, horrible.
It makes sense. They did that to spite him. That
Yeah,
wasn't a business move. That was a,
yeah.
I'm a scorned person and I'm gonna do you dirt.
And guess what? Kyrie went to the finals that year. Like,
Yeah.
congratulations! Congratulations, Shot Joe. Even
You
when you try
rewarded
to
him.
be resentful, you get screwed.
You rewarded him. You thought you were sending him to purgatory, and it wasn't
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, they made Dallas a good team that year. They was
Yeah.
they were playing good ball at that time too.
Right. And we want to get back to that next year. Like, I want us next year to talk more about games where we're winning games because we have to win those games because we want to win those games. This year, it's so hard because I want this team to have those little growth moments. But if it's the vets doing a lot of heavy lifting, it's exactly what we were last year. We still have the 6 odds right now. Thank goodness Pelicans are starting to win. Keep going. Zion, Burger King. I'm calling Zion Burger King from now on. Burger King is back. That's his new nickname. Like, he's starting to show you things. Like, if the Pelicans could crawl out of that last spot to maybe slightly near us or ahead of us, I'll be happy about that. And the Clippers, if I have to trade some of my vets to them right now so OKC doesn't get a top pick and they're ahead of us, I'll do that. We need to be near the bottom to at least have a shot of getting top 5 at this point. With the
Yeah,
6 odds, we're closer to the ninth pick, which would
right.
be just a total waste of time with
Yeah,
what we gave up.
Daniel said the Twins should have been traded to Houston to get our picks back.
Jalen Green, our picks.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. I didn't even like Jalen Green, but I would have gotten our picks back alongside him, so I would have been
Well,
fine with that.
I would have took Jalen Green. I don't care. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie to you. Some players just want to be in a different environment.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
It's not like Jalen Green ain't got no talent. Maybe it was a disgruntled employee, as far as we concerned. And it's true. He did not get along with the office.
You know what's crazy about Jalen Green? He has all the skill sets you want in a potential star player. He just doesn't have Cam Thomas IQ scoring abilities. Everybody
Yeah.
always compares Cam and Green. It's like Cam has the IQ score ability, but doesn't have the physical stuff that Green does. If they were one person, that's a superstar potentially. Like, honestly, you wonder if Jalen Green, let's say, does do well these next few years on a team and he's a star player and they do win something, that could have been our missed Shea opportunity to get a slightly less version of Shea, but you get your own picks back too at the same time. Could it have been a fleece for us from Houston? Maybe. But now with this Knicks trade we did, the best pick we have is the 2031 first. That's the most valuable pick we got back from that Knicks deal.
Right,
And
right.
who knows if
Exactly.
the Knicks are going to be together by then or break it up, but they could. It's just that's another gamble we took.
You know how New York is. You know how New York is you don't have that much time.
Right.
They're not going to give you that time. The media is going to be hounding you if you lose a lot of games.
Right. Oh, and
So
the Wizards won yesterday too. Thank goodness. Keep winning, Wizards, when you can.
yeah,
Keep
what's
doing
up,
that
X Ruler?
too.
Maybe X Ruler is in the house. What's up, X Ruler? The difference between us and the worst team in the NBA, Wiz, is 2 wins. We have the third hardest strength of schedule in the league. We do. Yeah, I guess we do. We have the third hardest strength of schedule in the league. Well, it doesn't matter because we are trying to get a good draft pick.
This next month is going to be really crucial, January, because you're going to see a lot of movement or close to movements, like with the Giannis situation, Anthony Davis, Bucks. Apparently, they might want to get Zach Levine or MPJ. They're looking at those two guys, and then Clippers, they might do something desperate with us. Who knows? Like, I know people don't look at us making a viable deal with them, but Clippers picks right now are gold, guys. Philly has a 2028 Clippers first that they got for the James Harden trade. That was a fleece by Philly. Right before they traded James away. They traded him for some of their first picks. They look like gold, and they got Edgecombe too out of a deal with their own pick. So it's like, I'm telling you, if I could have one of their Clippers picks, I don't think the Clippers would be for a title by 2030. They sold their future for Kawhi Leonard. Like, that is going to take years to get away from. They put
Yeah.
themselves in a hole with that one.
When's his contract up? When's
2 years
Kawhi's contract up? Two
by 20,
years?
2027, I believe.
Jesus Christ, it's been forever. Jesus Christ, it's been forever. They are in purgatory. I ain't gonna lie to you. They are in tight shape with him there.
You
for
know what's
real.
crazy? Fred VanVleet on a podcast said when the Raptors traded for Kawhi, Kawhi said, "I want out of here. I don't want to be here," and he won them a title. And then he got traded to where he wanted to go, Clippers. You should have talked to Fred VanVleet, man, interviewed him before he made that deal. Maybe you
Wow,
can save yourselves.
that is terrible, man. To be like tied up like that.
Right, and James Harden is not going to stay there long term. I think James is still competing at a high level, but
James
he's been
is,
in a lot of trade rumors too. Harden
but the
has,
thing about James Harden is he's in retirement mode, and he likes California.
right? But I'm hearing Minnesota might want to trade for him. Man.
Ain't
Ant
he
Man and
from
James,
ain't
that
he
could be
from
interesting.
California? I
That or
believe.
Houston.
Oh yeah, Houston, right? Exactly.
He's in trade rumors hard, and I'm hearing Minnesota might want him. Rockets, they could always do a Fred Van Vliet for James Harden swap with picks, something like that. Like, if Harden's on the move, Kawhi's likely to be out the door very soon. Like, they might break it up, but at the same time, I don't want them to surrender that pick to OKC because OKC should not have a top 10 or top 5 or any type top pick. They have a championship squad already, so some teams should be willing to want to help them, especially if they're a lottery team right now. Yeah,
You
take my
know,
bets.
you know
If
who
it
can
help-
use. You know who can use him?
Who?
The Knicks.
Kawhi with the Knicks?
No, not Kawhi.
James.
Harden. Yes.
Uh, if the Knicks had picks to give up, maybe they could do a deal like that, but they
Yeah, but they
don't.
don't have nothing to give up though.
They have swaps. And
Houston,
the
Houston,
Clippers don't want swaps.
Houston could Houston could use them.
Yeah, they have our
You think
picks.
Houston? Oh yeah, Houston could use him.
They have Fred VanVleet's contract. They have Torrey Eason,
Yeah,
which is right now expiring, and they have
I thought he
picks.
was from California, Daniel. Yeah, James Harden is from California.
Yeah,
That's
he is
why
from Cali.
he's not going nowhere. That's his final resting spot.
We'll
Trust
see.
me.
We'll see, Scott. He's in a lot of rumors, so we'll see if
He
he wants
don't.
to stay
I
or
don't even
go.
think he cares about winning a title at this point. What he cares about is
Like
getting
the
paid.
paycheck.
That paycheck.
Yeah.
I would too. At his age, he probably figure I ain't.
Well,
Hey,
they got to make a decision soon because if Zubats is out with he looked like he badly sprained that ankle last night, like tendons and all. So if he's out, they're in trouble. Like they have to work. They put Brooke Lopez in the starting lineup,
oh
and Lopez was out of the rotation for a month, so they're in trouble, man, without Zubats right now. So they're gonna have to make a decision sooner rather than later. And Ty Lue said he needs them to go 500 the West away. Really? You guys are close to second to last right now. Like you need everybody that's available, and your best center just hurt himself. So yeah,
mm.
that ain't good. That ain't good for them. And then Magic or another team, I wonder if they're gonna make any moves. Like they have
Yeah.
a good core with Franz, Paulo, and Desmond, but their core is injured a lot of the time, so they might need to make a move or two to reinforce their bench.
Mm.
So I think Haywood Highsmith would be a good piece for them. He's a wing who could play defense, brings that
Right.
grit. Like
Right.
maybe we could do Haywood for Jet Howard in a second. I'm totally down for that.
Well,
For the
how's his
young vet.
injury coming along? I haven't seen anything in the wire about it.
He's been progressing. I think he's going to play 5-on-5 soon, but the goal was for him to be back by mid-January, like two,
Mm.
3 weeks before the deadline. So that's not a lot of time, but I think everybody's seen what this guy can do in 3 years, and he's a good defensive player that makes it tough on matchups. So he's definitely valuable, I think, for us to get something back for him. Maybe a
Right.
young matching contract player and a second-round pick. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
bad.
No, that wouldn't be bad.
It's not bad for a guy only making $5 million. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't take a big hit on your cap. All right, so the game is getting ready to start in 15 minutes, fellas, and we're going to come back after the game. If not, I'll probably be on Breezy's channel because he's probably coming on after the game. Thanks and like and subscribe. I like to thank the guys in the comments, Daniel and X Ruler. I also like to thank my panel, John and Jamal, the franchise. John, where they can reach you at?
Good show, Scott. Always good to talk to you, Jamal. Good comments from the chat gallery. Yeah, if you want to talk from basketball, find my Twitter, everything BKNS John. It's gonna be a lot of trade deadline stuff going on, but Brooklyn fans, hopefully after the season, we put ourselves in a great position to take a big step forward in the draft and free agents and start building a winning roster. And regardless whether you like my content or you don't, you still respond to my content. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks, Jamal, for coming in. See you later, Jamal.
You
Catch up to
already
you.
know.
All right. Thanks, like and subscribe. Peace, everybody.